There'll be no one to stop us this time.
Anyway, okay, Tim Palmer's back, and you heard him before. Right now, we have this, we only had one poet tonight, and we have the storyteller himself, Mr. Ryan Gersler.
Hello. So,
you can apply.
I had a new story planned, but I got a little nervous, so I'm going to my favorite, because the favorite's always the best. This story is called The Boy in the Mirror. There once was a boy who lived across the street from a circus, and every day he'd look out his window and he'd see a man standing next to a curtain and a mirror. And every day the man would say, "Come, look in this mirror. He's the exact person you are, the exact person you're supposed to be. Behind the pain, the sadness, the regret, everything that you could have accomplished is possible. All you need to do is look in this mirror." How many times have you laid in your bed, looking up at the dark ceiling, thinking about how your life should be, thinking about everything you could have done, trying to figure out exactly who you're supposed to be, the person you want to be. And all you have to do is look in this mirror, and you can see the exact person that you are. I mean, how many opportunities can you get? Maybe, just maybe, on your deathbed, you could actually figure out everything. Let it all make sense at that moment, but at that moment, what can you accomplish? Nothing. And you'll just die with regret. But if you look in this mirror now, everything you ever dreamed of, everything you've ever imagined is possible. The boy would watch as people lined up for miles and miles to see this man, to look in that mirror and see the true person they are. And the boy would watch as each person went up to that mirror, looked in it, and disappeared. One by one, they all just disappeared. And I'm not sure if the people behind the person who disappeared noticed. They might have not. Or maybe they did. At that moment in their lives, any risk was worth taking to have that knowledge, so they know exactly where they should be. They knew happiness was possible. If this was the only chance, then why not take it? Every day the man would look at the boy and tell him, "You want to look in the mirror, don't you? You want to see the true person you are. I mean, do you really want to wait till you're about to die to figure it out when you're just a child now? Imagine the power you could have if you just look in this mirror. I know about your family, how your father died 2 years ago, how your mom's been struggling the entire time, and even when she smiles at you, look in her eyes and you see the pain that's there. I know every day you want to make it better, want to see a real smile on her face, see the eyes brighten. And it's all possible. And all you have to do is look in this mirror. And the boy told him, "No, I don't want to look in this mirror. You make people disappear. I watched every day to make all of those people disappear. What about their families? What about their friends? What about their lives? I'm going to stop you. I'm going to make sure you don't make anybody else disappear. I'm going to tell someone." And every day the man would laugh. Who would believe you? It's a mirror. It's wood. And it's glass. How could it possibly make anybody disappear? And I know you're saying that, but I know every night you dream of what you can see in this mirror. Every day you do everything to hold yourself back from doing what you know you want to do. Doing what you know you need to do. Don't hold yourself back. Get that knowledge and make your life, your family's life, and everybody's life better. See the true person you are and see how great everything can be. although the boy didn't want to admit it, the man was right. Every day he wanted to look in that mirror. Every night he dreamed about what he would see. He needed to make things better. Despite the risk, he needed everything to be okay. It took him 3 years, 21 days, and 2 hours to walk over to the man, and he said, I want to look in that mirror and you can't stop me. And the man said, I won't stop you, but I will warn you. What you see in that mirror cannot be changed, cannot be reasoned with. You cannot put it in the back of your mind. It is what it is. Are you sure you can handle that knowledge? Because you know what? Ignorance may actually be bliss. You could go back to your life and work as hard as you possibly could to make everything better. But if you really want to see your true self, then go right ahead. And the boy thought about it for a second, sweat pouring down his forehead, his hands shaking as he handed the man the $5 to pay for the mirror. He grabbed the curtain, his hands still shaking, and he flipped it open, and it was dark, and there was a light switch. And on the light switch it said, this is your last chance to turn around now. Go back to your life, or take the risk, or even better, take the chance and find out the true person you are. Just be warned, this is your final chance. And the boy stopped for a second and looked behind him. He saw his friends playing outside. He saw his mom hanging up laundry, and he knew he could turn around now. That he could work as hard as humanly possible to make everything better. Did he really have to take the risk? The risk of disappearing to find out who he was? And he tried to turn around. He really tried, but he couldn't. And there was no magic spell holding him there. It was only his own mind. He knew, despite the risk, he had to see what was in that mirror, because it was his responsibility to make everything better. He put his hand on the switch, his hand shaking, his eyes closed, and he flipped it up. And he opened his eyes, and he looked in the mirror, and he disappeared. Now I know what you're wondering. What happened to that boy in the mirror, in the place and the time that doesn't exist? Where did he go? And then you may actually think that maybe he saw something so horrible, so evil, that didn't only make him disappear, but it erased him. Erased him from reality, his entire existence gone, the pages of his book completely blank, white. Or maybe he saw something so great, so wonderful, so amazing that existence on this world was no longer necessary. He went somewhere better, somewhere greater, somewhere where he accomplished everything he knew he should. Or maybe, in more human terms, maybe he saw something deep inside himself that he couldn't handle. Something that he couldn't reason with, something that he couldn't change. And that feeling alone made him feel like nothing. And that small feeling actually made him disappear. Or maybe he saw something so great, so wonderful that he had to accomplish in his life that he did it. And he made his family, his friends, and everybody's life better. But there's one thing I have to ask you. What happened to that boy in the mirror, in the place, in the time that doesn't exist? Where did he go? And if it was you, would you walk over to that man? Would you pay him the $5? Would you flip up that curtain? Would you flip on that switch? And if you did, what would you see? Because maybe the answer to the question of what happened to the boy in the mirror, in the place, in the time that doesn't exist, is in all of us. Because maybe in some way, all of us are that boy.
That was Ryan Gerstler. All right, next up.
This has been an NJRocks.tv presentation, darling.